A brief message from your friendly neighborhood editing Jordan. We tend to try to keep things pretty PG-13 around here, but this is an improv podcast. So, who knows what we're going to say. Sometimes we throw in some swearing, some sexual content, and some violence. So, as a general warning, viewer discretion is advised. Also to be noted, the opinions stated about a certain tabletop role-playing game are just that, our opinions. We love the game and we like talking about it. So, any criticisms are really just all in good fun. That being said, wizards, please hire us. All right, with that out of the way, let's get on with the show.
Not unless it was claymation.
It is clay. I feel like it looks like one of the Beetlejuice statues. Taryn made this for me.
Dang.
When?
A very long time ago.
Taryn being like, I would never make something for you.
Well, I've kept it.
I don't remember making that.
Hear me out. Levi is what are those two? The brothers, not the Endgame brothers, the other ones, the ones that are often accused of being like anti-humanist.
There are so many brother, sibling duet director pairings. I have no idea.
Is it the Coen brothers? Is it Coen?
Yeah, it might be the Coens that you're talking about.
I think so. I gotta look at their filmography real quick.
What do they do?
Well, they directed The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. That's the thing that's coming to my mind first.
No Country for Old Men.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
And Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And Fargo.
Oh, that's a good movie. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
In what way?
It's the lighting. It's very much that bright and then the orange tones and the brown in the background.
It's lighting and it's also your angle. You're not looking, you're not in the camera. Yeah.
I don't like doing that for some reason. I don't like facing directly at it because then I can give myself comedic value when I do face directly at it.
See,
don't jim the camera.
You're just like the Coen brothers. You're anti-humanist. No, okay. Hey everybody, welcome to the Nat One Podcast, aka Nope, because nope, you're not gonna want to hear what we're about to have to say. I'm Pertuset.
I'm Levi.
And I'm Jordan. I've never heard that accusation. I'm gonna have to look that up now.
If I recall it, I don't know if it's relevant anymore. It was kind of after No Country for Old Men came out that stuff was labeled at them, where they were like, you don't like people because all your movies are sad endings or bad endings. And they were like, no, we're just realists or something like that.
No, I feel like their movies are just more artistic realism than anything.
You would. They're directing your webcam right now.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou didn't really have a sad ending.
No, I suppose not.
Yeah. Anyways, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about today on the podcast.
No, it doesn't, but it's an interesting thought experiment, I guess.
We haven't done a film episode in a while.
I wonder why. We should do that, because that's all I talk about when I'm not talking about D&D.
There's not a whole lot of film going on lately.
Well, there is a whole lot of film going on. It's just
bad.
Really film.
Yeah.
This year is terrible.
Yeah, this year hasn't been
This one's
great.
been pretty bad.
Although it can't really live up to the set of bangers that came out last year. Because last year was a good year for movies.
Yep.
Yeah. Whoops.
Who's excited for Joker 2?
Actually, kind of.
I have a middling opinion about it. I'm probably going to go see it, but I'm not
yeah! I wrote my senior thesis on movie musicals, therefore I am elated that it is a musical.
After watching the trailer, I think it looks bad, but I'm going to watch it.
We did get at least one pretty good movie so far. We got Deadpool and Wolverine this year.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good.
Slapped.
Yeah.
But are you guys excited for the Minecraft movie?
No.
Oh, of course.
But
I will be seated.
I'd rather just watch.
But Brian, you were supposed to be a hero.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hero Brian. I like that name.
Yeah.
I will be on the edge of my seat, especially whenever I stand up to leave the theater in the middle of the movie.
literally everyone and their mother knows it's gonna be bad based off
Oh,
of the
yeah.
trailer. But the thing is it's
Mhm.
having the Morbius effect on it, where already people are memeing it so much that like I really hope it doesn't make a profit, because I don't want them to be incentivized to keep doing
No.
stuff like it. And
What's-
I'm afraid it will, because it's like going to be the Morbius effect, but real this time, because people are doing it before the movie came out.
It makes me so upset because there are like actual like in the heyday of Minecraft animations and stuff, that shit was good. But
Mhm.
also
no.
I
Should have
saw
just gotten the guy that did Fallen Kingdom.
that's what I was
Mhm.
thinking. Like I just watched Fallen Kingdom on a loop for whatever the runtime that is, and then that's it.
I
Yeah.
want to meet, like, I want to have been there in that meeting that they had with the design team when they settled on, we're gonna go for like gross realism Minecraft instead of
literally-
making
instead
it
of-
stylized Minecraft.
Yeah, instead of using the base Minecraft texture pack, they took the one that's just hyper realistic and
It's
looks
literally
awful.
the meme of this is what Minecraft's graphics will be in 2014.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what it is. That
Mm-hmm.
I would
And it
also
doesn't
like to
look
point
good.
out I saw a Tumblr post and it said, putting money on it now, there's gonna be a bit where Jack Black gets hit in the nuts and goes, "Oh no, my cubes!" And that's gonna be like the standout laughing joke of
It's
the
gonna
movie.
be
It's gonna
blocks.
happen.
It's gonna be
It's-
my
blocks.
blocks.
Yes, my blocks. Yep. It's gonna
Guaranteed.
be something so stupid. He's not gonna say balls. He's gonna say something that is cube
My
or block
diamonds.
related. That also.
True.
There's gonna
True.
be some kind of dumb joke.
Oh,
But he is Steve.
I cannot believe they Jason Momoa is in the movie and they chose Jack Black to be Steve. No offense to Jack Black, but like
I don't think
mean,
that they could ever make me dislike Jack Black, but this is trying
Yeah.
very hard.
the
But
Mhm.
also the costuming for this movie as well. Instead of Steve, he's quite literally just Jack Black in a blue shirt.
yes,
Yeah.
they didn't even try.
Yep.
So how does this relate to D&D backgrounds?
Uh.
Minecraft.
Movie.
I'm in freaking Minecraft. I
Yeah.
am placing blocks and
There you go. It'll just be the longest cold open of all time.
Yeah.
honestly, I kind of thought we were going to transition into talking about film instead of the
I'm
backgrounds,
fine with
but
that.
I'm
Let's go.
already
I'm
like
fine with
tapped.
that.
I'm tapped though. I don't. There's like nothing else to worth talking about.
Oh my
Talk about Beetlejuice.
We've
It's
been
not worth
talking about
talking
bad
Freaking
movies. We can talk
big.
about big flops from media recently.
Big flopper.
Mhm.
Guys, we
Oh my
gotta
That's
decide on a
dangerous
topic.
to talk about.
That is dangerous to talk about. We might not want to step into that territory.
We're gonna have to bleep something Taryn said again.
Yes.
No. It's the biggest flop in video game history. What are you talking about?
That is a true fact. That is a true factual
Yeah,
statement.
probably.
They've been working on the game for 8 years.
Taryn,
and
we
they
just said
have
we're not going
less
to talk about it,
We're
you
not
dumb
talking
whore.
about it. I'm bleeping everything.
Why?
Gosh.
I don't know.
It's just funny.
Yeah, but it's not the subject of today's conversation
Why not?
because we have other things we're going to discuss today.
Like Minecraft.
Well, speaking of directors, what if you guys could be a director?
That's what I went to school for.
I don't think I would
I'm
want to.
trying. I'm desperately trying. Somebody please hire me. I have screenplays that I can option.
If I had the opportunity to, I don't think I would take it.
Can I have Levi's opportunity?
No.
Dang it.
What if I told you?
I'm going to selfishly hoard it. It's my IP to sit on and do nothing with.
What if I told you that your D&D character could be a director?
Which
I don't
one?
think anyone wants Arlo in charge of anything.
Which one? Wait, you're not answering my question.
Mm-mm.
That's also a valid question. I don't know which one you're talking about.
Uh,
I mean, Mercury
Mm.
was, in a sense, kind of. He's a theater guy.
I don't know. I don't know, Walt. I don't know.
mm. Well, good thing nobody cares because backgrounds suck.
They do, as they
They're not
currently
great.
stand, as heavily commented on by us in our
Indeed.
backgrounds
Go back and
episode.
watch that episode.
True. What do we do with that one? We made it a tier list, didn't we?
No,
'Cause
we
we-
said we were going to at some point.
Oh,
We have
'Cause
two
that's-
backgrounds episodes. We have the
I-
original backgrounds episodes where we talk about the backgrounds in 5e, and we have the more recent backgrounds episodes where we talk about the changes to backgrounds in 2024 5e or 5.5, whatever you want to call it. Both are pretty hostile to the concepts of backgrounds, I think.
mm. I remember back in the original one, because that was back when we were doing the ranking the classes, ranking the races.
Mhm.
I couldn't remember what we did about that because we were like, there's too many backgrounds.
I think we maybe tier listed the original ones. We haven't done the other ones yet.
Okay, that's
Ours-
fine.
I don't remember if we did tier list them or not.
I feel like we did.
I just remember that a lot of our takeaway from it was like the majority of these are inconsequential,
Except for Fisherman.
except for Fisherman, who we determined was the best
Yes.
out of all of them. So,
Yeah, and now for 2024, the takeaway is don't use 2024 backgrounds in 2024. It is
Yep,
just simply
pretty
better
much.
to use the old ones.
which isn't saying a lot because they're still not that great. They're not bad, but they just don't really do much.
Indeed.
Indubitably.
Well, what if I told you there's another way?
Impossible. There's only ever two ways for things.
Mm. I painstakingly put something of mine into an arc reactor and now came out with a third way.
Is that what you call your brain?
No,
Is that what happens when you microwave your brain cells?
no.
I just thought you
So
had
the
like
first
a-
two
I just
ways
thought
are
you'd have, like, a
hamburger
funny
and
little
hot
pet.
dog. What's the third way?
Soup.
Yeah.
What?
That would be, it is bunless as compared to the other two.
Mhm.
There are so many other bunless foods
Mm.
before you get
Just
to
soup.
soup.
Well, think about
No.
like you if it's like a piece of paper, you fold it one way, fold it the other way, and
Exactly.
then the last way is putting it into just a bowl of water and then pick it
Mhm.
back out.
Yeah. Soup.
Okay.
That's what I'm here to present today.
The soup.
You're gonna put the backgrounds in a bowl of water?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you put Jeremy Crawford in a bowl of water?
I need a pretty big bowl, but I could do it. Oh. Yeah, so what I got is very niche and specific, but hopefully you, the stockholders that are evaluating my presentation, and you at home, who are probably also stockholders, but just not as important, because you're not here physically at the meeting.
You hold less stock.
But
Yeah.
you could be. Sponsor us.
True. Get your name in big lights right here, right now. I got some specific stuff I made for my upcoming campaign here in a handful of years. But like I said, I'm hopeful that you at home will be able to take this and run with it and make your own. So, I'm gonna. It's been a while since I designed this, and I know what it is, but I'm just gonna read my description of it from the document straight up and see if it makes sense first. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Each country has a background you must choose from. Starting at level 1, you must choose the background that matches with your country of origin. As the campaign progresses, your background and cultural knowledge will progress with you. At certain moments in the campaign, you will gain background points which can be invested into the backgrounds, unlocking new abilities the more acclimated you are to different cultures. You may choose to further your understanding of your own country through diligent practice, reminiscing, or the contextualization of your country through that of other countries. Conversely, you can come to appreciate new cultures, becoming familiar with the traditions and customs of the countries you visit or the countries your traveling companions hail from. The background points do not have a set progression and are rewarded similarly to level ups from milestone leveling. Background points can also be stored rather than used immediately upon acquiring them. Once you are awarded a background point and wish to use one, the DM, that'll be me, will determine if your character has met the prerequisites to earn their mastery over a culture. This will often be based on your character's engagement with a culture, whether it be through reading, talking to locals, or otherwise studying the background of your choice. If the DM determines you do not fit the prerequisites, you will not use the background point and can try again later. You may use as many background points as you like, but to further your background, you must successfully set out to do so before a long rest and complete the long rest. This does not hamper your long rest or influence what happens to you after completing it. Here are the following background paths you can choose from at level 1. Before I read that, does it make sense? Is the mathing?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Any questions?
Progressive system. Yeah, honestly, it kind of sounds more similar to, obviously not 100%, but like a class.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I'm making it.
Yeah.
All right, well, here are the options. These are placeholder names as for what they're going to be called, but I thought they were the most fitting so far. But these are not for barbarians, despite their names. Well, I mean, technically barbarians, too, but we have
Uh-huh.
What?
one better make a name for
Whatever you
Sophia.
say,
Bud.
sir.
We have Path of the Desert, Path of I think I changed that one. No, I didn't. Okay. So Path of the Desert, Path of the Heavens, Path of the Spirits, Path of the Ancestors, Path of the Knights Errant, Path of the Sane, and Path of the Mad. What do you want first?
Spirits.
Spirits. Spirits coming up. This is the one that correlates with the Celtic world. For those of you at home, my next one's going to be about several myths decided by my players, the other stockholders.
That's us.
Mm-hmm. And this is all what do they call that? STC, subject to change. But this is what I've got right now. There are 8 levels in the Path of the Spirits tree. What level do you want?
I figured we would just start from the beginning, but if you're
Oh,
giving me a choice,
fine,
6.
okay. I'll give you both since you have so much stock.
Okay.
Level 1 is called Nature's Magic. Immediately learn one druid cantrip of your choice. Gain proficiency in the nature skill and any intelligence or wisdom checks involving Fae. Gain proficiency in leatherworking tools. Very normal background stuff.
Yeah.
Level 6. And this would have required you to first off, you would have either had to have started from the Celtic world or culture. And then additionally put 5 background points into it, or somewhere else and then put 6 background points into this one. Which you basically it's like being a Westaboo, but for Celtic stuff. You get level 6, Nature's Arcana. Gain a pool of Fey magic points equal to your proficiency bonus. You can expend these points to cast the following spells: Invisibility, Fairy Fire, Misty Step. Each spell costs 1 Fey magic point. These are regained after finishing a short rest.
I love Misty Step.
You don't like Fairy Fire?
I do, but I just really like Misty Step.
Okay. Well, that's that one.
Are we only going 1 and 6?
No one else said anything.
You didn't pick one.
I kind of figured that we were just gonna go through them.
Mm-mm.
Fine, okay.
We only do what the stockholders want, not what they figure.
Fine.
And you didn't
4.
say anything in particular.
4. Oh, that's the boring one. Sorry.
Dang it. 3.
3. Oh, that one's also boring. Why don't you pick 5 or
2?
8?
I'll take 8.
Yeah. So this one is only possible if you started from Celtic land and was like, I only appreciate my culture. You would have had to have maxed out here. There's no other way to achieve level 8, and that will go for all of the level 8s. Nature's Ward. Choose one status effect to become immune to at the start of each day. Additionally, the first spell you cast each day deals double damage, doubling even critical damage.
Oh,
Very cool.
Mhm.
that's a nice little effect.
Yeah. It takes a lot of commitment. So
I mean, it pretty much sounds similar to just going basically to a level 17 character, getting all the way up there to the point where you get like 9th level spell slots or your capstone ability for your subclass usually is at 17.
it depends on the class.
Yeah. So similar level of commitment, basically like going 1 to 20, essentially.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's that one. There's a lot of other interesting things mixed in there, such as gaining immunity to a saving throw of your choice. Gaining the effects of True Sight, and being able to cast Speak with Animals once per long rest.
I like your interpretation of background.
Thanks.
But honestly, I feel like it should be called something different than background. And I'm not saying this like to you and your thing, I'm saying like in general. Because I do think that there should be some kind of like cultural significance, because you've really heavily tied the mechanic to the world that you're going to be a part of. Whereas like backgrounds in general, you can there are ones that are for like the Forgotten Realms where you can be like a harper, or I don't even
They're
remember.
so
There's
generic.
yeah, but they're very
Mhm.
generic, and literally if they didn't have the name attached to them that they were from the Forgotten Realms, you could fit them into any other campaign setting. Because the harpers are literally just like basically a good guy thieves guild, pretty much. They're like guys that sneak around and help people and do
Mhm.
good deeds, and you could
Mhm.
swap that out with like anything. So I like a different take on it, being like your background is your culture, the society you grew up in, not necessarily your profession before
Mhm.
you became an adventurer, which is what backgrounds are pretty much now. Is that's
Mhm.
like, this is what you did before you started adventuring, and so that's why you have X, Y, and Z skills. I think it makes a lot more sense for it to be broader and wider, like you have done, and that also allows you, like you have done, to incorporate many more abilities and skills into it, because you're broadening it from just being it's your job.
Well, and
And
I
I
like
like
the
that a lot.
progression aspect because I don't like that in normal rules as written D&D, and I don't exactly know how you would solve this with the current rule set, which is why I like this. It feels like everything is just tied to class, and everything class ends up being tied to combat ability, which I think is boring. Because there's
Mhm.
more to D&D than just combat. So I like that idea of growing the more utility spells and skills and stuff that
Yeah.
are not just hard and fast tied to I get more hit points, I can hit things harder. Woo! And
Yeah.
like moving because to me it feels more like a complete character because you're not just like hitting things. There's more personality to your character than just what they do in combat.
Indubitably. I agree. You can tell we all play together because we all saw the same flaws.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just so happen to have the time and the energy and the willpower to tackle it at long last.
The only critique I would give is
I hate you.
No constructive criticism, only compliments.
it goes both ways with I definitely don't think there needs to be nearly as much as there currently is, but I do think there should be like maybe 2 or 3 more generic, not generic, but separated from, because there's always going to be people in the world who are like social outcasts and people who aren't necessarily members of a particular society or group. So I think there should be something for that in case a player doesn't want to be like moved in the direction of you have to be someone from one of these places. What if I want to be a hermit or something who went out to live, urchin who went out to
No,
live
they
in the
killed
hills.
Urchin. That's
or
not
something like that.
Wayfarer.
So maybe
Mhm.
maybe 1 or 2 that work off of a similar progression system, but aren't necessarily specifically tied to like a regional culture at the same time. But still, again, I think the progression system is much better, and I think broadening it to a much wider scope rather than, like I said countless times a few minutes ago, it's your job, helps it to shine a lot more.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Sure, I'll say people at home can do that. I think doing that for mine is not going to work because these are heavily, heavily, heavily based on the mythologies.
Yep.
And
I think it's-
regardless of how hermity you are, if you are from Egypt land, you are going to be a bit more Egypt-y than if you aren't.
Hmm.
And then at that point, you can just abandon your culture. Like it says, like you can take 1 point in
True.
where you're from, and then the rest you can spend elsewhere because you're like, I freaking hate that place.
I think introducing it into the wider scope of just like an actual game mechanic, not for your hyper-specific home game. I agree with what Levi's saying, but yeah,
Yeah,
no.
Real.
That-
I
would
like
agree.
more
that
what
it's
I was
super
getting
attached to
at.
your world, because that's what I like about your lore building stuff, is that it's so attached to the intricacies of your homebrew.
Indubitably.
That's more what I was getting at, and I just didn't articulate the point because I kind of forgot when I started talking that that was my point, is that I'm looking at it from more the perspective of if we would want this to be something that's generally in the game. Right now, it's very heavily tied to your individual homebrew, which is fine because many DMs do that. But I just would say, for the sake of if there are DMs who don't want to, focus on that aspect of what they're playing, if they want to play in the Forgotten Realms or if they want to play in Greyhawk or Dragonlance and they don't have a homebrew world that they want to do it in, just stuff for like that, basically.
Or just play in Pertuset's homebrew setting.
Or just play in
True,
only
which
in
will
Pertusit's
release
homebrew setting.
on Kickstarter. Just kidding.
Let's do it.
No, this is for me. This is for
Dylan's
us.
already got a source book written. We can market that one too.
Let's start with Dylan's. Let's start with
Yeah, yeah,
Start with
yeah.
Dylan. Dylan's is already written.
I feel like there's something else I was gonna mention about that. I was gonna make a joke, but it's too late now. It's past time. I can't say it now. I can't say it anymore. I was
Make it,
gonna
it'll be
say
funny.
I was gonna say shut up, Levi, go Roblox obby yourself, but
that video's been out for like a week already. It's old news.
I know I was just
By the
testing
time
it
this
out.
podcast episode comes out, it'll have been like 2 weeks. So
Well, you know how people say like go toaster bath yourself. I was
Yeah.
gonna test out like Roblox obby yourself and
Yeah.
see if that like has any legs.
That toaster bath still sounds better.
go Robbie yourself.
Robbie is crazy. I just think of the character from Gravity Falls.
I just think of Robbie from
Um,
Critical Role.
Oh, true.
Also a good one. Wait, I can't. Oh, I can't show him. He's on the other wall. He's over there.
I just think
Okay.
of his gentle smiling face.
He does have a great smile. As someone that met him in person, do you all first off? Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'll discuss that with you later, maybe. But Jordan got to pick one. The Jordan stockholder got to pick one. Levi, do you want to investigate one of these background paths?
What were all the other ones? We did spirits.
We have desert, heavens, ancestors, knights errant, sane, and mad.
I can
so
guess what
curious about the
mad
last
is from.
two.
I'm trying to connect them to what each of their mythologies might be. I can guess what mad is. I can guess what knights errant is. I can guess what desert is.
Mm-hmm.
Sane, I'm not 100% sure. Heavens, I'm not 100% sure. Well, we've got Egypt, we've got Arthurian, we've got Cthulhu, we've got Native American, we've got Celtic. What's the last one?
Chinese.
Chinese. Oh, okay. Heavens
Yeah.
is probably Chinese. Um,
Grand Cathay.
is Sane Native American? I
I'm
Why don't you
genuinely
find
curious.
out?
I don't know what it is.
yeah, sure. Give us Sane.
Okay.
Or is it a flip side of the Cthulhu mythos?
There it
That's the
is.
thing is, I didn't know if he would just make 2 for 1 instead of.
I did in fact make 2 for 1. There's one that received 2, and the Lovecraftian received Sane and Mad. And
Can
that
I
was
take both of
actually,
them?
believe it or not, that's which I didn't want to say anything because I didn't know if you would pick it or not. That is sort of a bit of response to your thing about having different options, because I was thinking in the Lovecraft world, some players might want to really embrace the whole Lovecraft stuff and be a
Yeah.
cultist, but some might want to stand against it. So I made
Yeah.
one for each side.
I'm going to lose my mind. It is going to become a staple of my character's every campaign.
Oh, it's a shame you didn't pick that one because it has some crazy features. It was like the last one I made, so I was running on fumes
Taryn, pick that
for
one.
feature ideas.
Maybe.
Okay, so Path of the Sane. I'll start with the level 1 part, and then you guys can pick something else if you want it. For level 1, you don't actually get any skills or languages or anything for this one. Instead, it's called Humane Path. You gain proficiency in 1 mental saving throw of your choice.
Oh.
Ooh,
I figured that was worth the lack of skill.
I dig it, yeah.
All
That could
right.
be really good depending on what your starting saving throws are.
If you start as Warlock and then you picked Intelligence from this, you would have
You have
proficiency
all of
in
them,
all
yeah.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Which is kind of ironic considering you're a warlock.
And you want to be sane. Yeah. A Warlock in Lovecraft world that wants to be sane. Well, in some ways, you could really play into that. It's up to the player, I
Desperately
guess.
wants to be sane, doesn't know how well it's gonna work out.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm getting ideas.
Other levels of there's 8, just as before.
7.
Okay.
Unless that's a boring one.
Not particularly. I think I like this one a lot. I worked hard on this one. Humane Resilience. You gain immunity to psychic damage. Additionally, you gain immunity to being charmed.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about 8?
Humane Power. You no longer need to sleep to gain the benefits of a long rest. You can still accrue points of exhaustion by overexertion or traveling for extended periods of time, but you no longer need to sleep otherwise.
Oh, I dig it.
That's
I like
cool.
it.
That
I
is
like
nice.
it.
That is literally a warlock invocation. So yeah, that's cool.
Dang it, I wanted to be nuts. Now I may have to change my plan for that campaign.
Anti-warlock, you just run off of the sheer power of human will.
Yes, that's what it is.
That
It's
would
like
be so sick.
You're from Nightmare on Elm Street, and you're like, I'm not gonna get got.
I'm not
Yeah.
falling asleep.
Okay. Taryn?
Give me that multi-ability score dependent. Mad.
I wanted you to pick a level.
pick a number, and then we'll do that.
And then we can do that one.
Oh, we haven't moved on from
Okay.
Sane yet. We haven't moved on from Sane.
Taryn's ready to go.
Whoops.
The look on Pertuset's face when he said multi-ability score dependent. Oh.
Have we done 2 yet?
No.
2.
Humane Perception. You gain an alertness to magical observation, allowing you to sense when you are being magically observed, though you cannot prevent it or know the identity of the observer through this feature.
Oath of the Watcher's Sane Paladin would go
It
hard.
will go so hard.
You would automatically succeed basically on scrying.
I can't play another Paladin, Pertuset.
I know you can. You didn't even ask about the Knight's Errant path. If you learn about that one, it's over, brother.
He's gonna play another paladin.
I've
I think
I've
I
already
cooked on
decided.
that.
I've already decided what I'm playing. It's not a Paladin.
Okay, with that in mind, Taryn, have you changed your mind for what path, or do you still want the other one?
Uh, uh, uh. Actually, no. Let's go Knights Errant.
Dang it! I want to hear what the mad stuff is since we talked about the
Too bad.
No.
Dad.
Okay. I'll give you level 1, and then you all can pick a level as usual. And again, just like the others, it goes to level 8. So if you want the max benefits, you'll have to be from the Arthurian world and crank it on your own culture. Path of the Knights Errant. Level 1, Chivalric Affinity. Gain proficiency in medium armor if not already proficient, or gain proficiency in heavy armor if already proficient in medium armor. Gain a code of honor that your character cannot break lest they suffer consequences. Gain proficiency with blacksmithing tools. And then I put as a footnote, the code of honor can be decided by the player but must be approved by the DM. The code of honor must align with good or lawful principles. Breaking the code of honor causes the character to lose all features from Path of the Knights Errant until they complete a long rest and repent during the rest.
Dang.
Ooh.
Okay, I dig it.
Now, start picking your levels. I'll take the highest bidder.
8.
Dang. Chivalric Brotherhood. Once per long rest as an action, you can rally your allies with inspiring words of camaraderie. For the next minute, you and friendly creatures within 30 feet of you gain a bonus to all rolls equal to your proficiency bonus.
Oh. That is very Oath of the Crown pilled, but just better for paladins because they have a similar feature. Oh, I don't remember what it's called. It's been so because I never used it because it wasn't very good. Where they can give bonuses to allies.
Yeah, shoot, I don't even know, brother. I don't know.
Just like it's like once or twice per long rest or something. But that's a lot better than the proficiency bonus when you're presumably going to have a high enough proficiency bonus that it'll be a +6.
Yeah, presumably when you get this, it'll be at least it'll be either +5 or +6 by the time you would hit this.
Yeah.
At least in my planning for it. Next bidder.
4.
Chivalric Valor. Gain a reaction allows you to gain proficiency in a saving throw you are not proficient in for 1 round. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, regaining all expended uses after a long rest.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. Well, that's just basically like a. I don't know. I don't know what it's basically like, but it's just a reaction. I do better on the save, and it's not a guaranteed success.
It's a very defense-based path because it's the Knights Errant. Defense and support.
Okay. 2.
Chivalric Oath. Gain advantage on saving throws against effects that would cause you to betray your allies or break your code of honor.
Well, that could be funky depending on what your code of honor is.
Yeah.
Me arguing with the DM how I don't know, being charmed by this person is going to cause me to break my oath because they want me to crack 3 eggs instead of 2.
DM, I can't fall for the succubus's trap because I must be celibate.
Precisely.
That would be crazy. Trying to see what else is in here. Oh, no one picked 6. 6 is cool. Oh, well.
Read it.
No.
Okay.
Well, someone's got to get to it in
Yeah.
the campaign. That's the only way we'll be able to see it.
And still yet, these are subject to change, so they may eventually, some of them may look different. I may change them, because I know some of them I based heavily off of, like, class features, and I wanted them to work with class features. And some I was like, nah, screw that. I want this to be independent of a class that was chosen. So.
When will we be able to read this entire document is my question. I want to look at all of these. I'm excited now.
In truth, what's going to happen is when we get near the end of our current campaign, I'm going to one by one drag people in for secret meetings. Clandestine meetings, you could even say. and we will discuss the world you'd like to come from. By first, I will tell you these options here, as well as, and I can tell you this, I can tell you this, I have that number for you. Let me get it. I've also recently decided that every country is also going to be limited in what races you can be if you choose to come from it, as well as what class and subclass you can be if you choose to come from it. For example, there's a really funny one I have to find. Wait. If you choose to hail from the Celtic world, you cannot be a monk.
Dang.
Because I was like, who out in that society being monk? I was like, if you're gonna try to be a monk in that society, you're basically a druid.
What if I make a really compelling case for what race I should be able to play?
Well, in fact, there actually is a point in the part where I called this the restrictions, where it says that these are not final and you can argue for your stance.
Just like the No Humans campaign.
Yeah.
Where almost the entire party were humans.
Exactly. And I'm not doing this for any particular reason. I'm kind of just doing this because I just want to see what's going to happen if there more constraints are placed on you guys. It's not because I think you guys are bad or dumb or ugly. No, I'm kidding. But just because I want to see. I think, in theory, by having some walls like this, I think it'll make you guys be more creative. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But yes, I'll have you all look at this, look at those paths, and we will decide on where your character is from, and we'll decide on your backstory, and you will decide on details about the world, since that way you feel more closely tied to it yourself. And you will not talk to anybody else about what you chose.
So we can't be best friends starting off together.
No.
Dang it!
In fact, currently I'm also playing with an idea that each player only gets to pick, like every country can only have one person, and it's first come, first serve.
Dang it, I have an idea and it hinges on one specific thing.
That's what I was gonna say, is I'm working on that one, because I would hate if somebody, like, there was a place they wanted to be from, but someone else got it first, and it just like kept bouncing them back because they were like the last person, so they just had to take what was left.
What if it's like I'm assuming the world is large enough that maybe you could have like two people never have met to be from the same place.
That's what I'm considering right now, but we're working on it.
Impossible.
For maximum difference between characters, I'm thinking we're cooking. But again, that's a while away. And I encourage you at home to try something similar to this, where you have vast differences between each player character, but also limit them a little bit to see what they come up with, so that way you don't have any like broken builds, or rather builds made for the sake of being broken. Though you still leave room that it can happen, but it's got to be uniquely broken now. It can't just be Polearm Master Sentinel. All right.
Whoops. I've never done that.
I don't think you have. Wait, did you? I can't remember.
No, I've not.
Okay, yeah.
Did I ever tell you that was not my plan, but I was heavily tempted to do that with Zambda very early on?
Yes.
I ended up deciding against it.
Yeah. It's okay. I got somebody else that has it now that I have to deal with. Well, that's my background thing. What if I told you didn't have to be a good person?
Red pill versus blue pill. That's what this entire background situation is. You can take the blue pill, you can go back to the meaningless backgrounds that mean nothing and have no substance, but they provide to you also perhaps no dangers and limitations. You can be whatever you want to be and whatever you need to be. And possibilities are limitless and endless, but they will have no impact on your campaign or character. Or you can take the red pill, which is you apply some limitations, Restrict people. Don't make them think outside the box, but make them think around the box. And quite possibly end up with something better in the long term. Sorry, I've been in too many graduate seminars. It's making me talk like I'm goofy.
It makes you talk like you're Morpheus.
Morbius.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed the episode you just listened to. If you really like our content, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications on YouTube, and look for us on Spotify. If you'd like to see us continuing to do more fun projects in the future, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can find our page linked in the description above all of our other social media links. And finally, if you'd like to keep up with the zany shenanigans of our lives and check out some more skit-based content and things like that, check us out on Twitter and TikTok, links in the description. And hey, thanks!